Thanks for joining the Law Schoolers. This is Will, and today we're going to be focusing on probably one of the most important things that you can focus on during your undergraduate, and that's how to choose a major that will help you get into law school. So when I was in high school, I was very interested in government, and I wanted to have a career in government without going into being a politician. But I thought that the best way to do this would be to have a major in political science and then go to law school. So importantly, I knew that political science was a major that a lot of law school applicants have and use when they apply for law school. However, I kind of wish that I approached this differently, my major selection. What I would have done is evaluated my career and academic interests more deeply. I would have looked at my strengths, and I would have looked at my interests in what law schools look for in students and the majors that they select. And the reason why I'm wanting to share this is so that you can hopefully make a good, strong assessment of your undergrad major much sooner than I did. So how do you choose a major that helps you get into law school? So we're going to focus on playing to your interests, playing to your strengths, talk about how having the right major can help you get into law school and how having the right major can help you with your career. Most of this is going to be based on the principle begin with the end in mind, and if you haven't listened to that episode yet, I would strongly recommend it because all of this is going to be making plans. So play to your interests. One of the things I've learned over the years is everybody has more than one interest. Now, for some, it takes a lot of time to explore all the activities that interest you, and for others, you already have a good idea of all the activities that you're interested in. But one of the excuses that I've heard a lot of people make is, I'm just not interested in anything, or I don't know what I would enjoy, I don't know what I would like. And for me, that's kind of a poor excuse because everybody has several interests. So your job is to match those interests with the field of academia. At this stage, don't worry about what majors law schools might like. So for me, I had an interest in politics and government. I also had an interest in sports. I enjoyed journalism and communications and broadcasting. And so each of these would have been an interest that I could have explored that would have made me stand out and been unique when I applied to law schools. Now, I want to talk about how having the right major can help you with your career. This is important because some of the majors are required, because some undergrad majors are required for certain fields of law. For example, if you want to go into IP law, intellectual property, and be licensed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, then you need to have a background in STEM. There are other ways that you can get into IP law, but you may be limited if you don't have a STEM major. So if you have an interest in engineering and politics, but you want to work with patents, you would probably want to consider going into an engineering major and having a political-related minor instead. Other fields of law may require more specific majors as well. It's also possible that certain law schools have programs that are major-specific, so you'll just want to do a lot of additional research before deciding on a major. So the other thing that you can do is play to your strengths. So you want to play to your strengths just as well as you want to play to your interests. You may have a unique skill set, such as public speaking or event organization or even just strong writing skills. And so even though each major incorporates several skills, some may be more specialized. For instance, a computer programming major requires a lot more detail-oriented, someone who has a quick eye and can quickly find system bugs. And those are skills that you would need to have for computer programming. Now, the key to finding a good major is to take your interests and take your strengths and find where they intersect. And at that point of intersection is where you will want to select your major. You'll find that if you have the right major, your undergraduate career is going to be much more fulfilling. You'll perform better in class and you'll get the grades that you need to put forward strong applications to law schools. Okay, so finally I'm going to talk about how having the right major can help you get into law school. So, interestingly, the top 5 majors applying to law school in 2019, because that's the most available data, was first political science with 12,967 applicants and a 77% acceptance rate. The next lowest was psychology. Well, the next highest was psychology with 3,850. So that's going from 13,000 to 4,000 applicants. That's a huge jump. Political science has a ton of applicants applying for law school. Psychology has a 73 acceptance rate. Criminal justice has nearly 4,000 applicants as well, and a 60% acceptance rate. English has 3,500 applicants and a 79% acceptance rate. And economics has about 3,200 applicants with an 82% acceptance rate. Although you can certainly choose political science to be your major like I did, you will certainly stand out more if you have a major that is less common. STEM majors appear to have a high acceptance rate. Language majors have an extremely high acceptance rate. And I'm not saying to select a major because law schools will look at it more when you're applying. What I'm saying is to take your strengths and take your interests, find that intersection, and you will be successful in your undergrad. And if you're successful in your undergrad and you stand out, law schools will see that and they will look at you more. Perhaps the reason why a STEM major is more successful is because they work harder to prepare for the LSAT. Or maybe an English major writes a better personal statement. So really, you just want to choose a major that will make you better at what you want to study. In other words, a major that you choose doesn't really matter to the admissions board as long as you provide a very strong academic resume. Many students choose political science because they want to go into constitutional law or they want to go into governance. But overall, law schools appear to do a good job at making sure that the acceptance rates are pretty equal. So really, you want to focus on being as successful as possible in your undergrad. And that's not choosing based off of what law schools are going to accept, but instead focusing on what your strengths and interests are. So to summarize, find your strengths, find your interests, align them together with your academic and professional career. The sooner you do those things, the better you're going to have an undergraduate experience. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Law Schoolers. Before I let you go, there are 4 things I want to say. The first thing is if you enjoyed these episodes and if you enjoyed the website, I would invite you to go and join Law Schoolers Pro. And you can do that by going to lawschoolers.com/join. It's a way for you to support us, but there's also a lot of features there that I think you will enjoy. Second thing is that nearly all of our episodes are unedited. The only ones that aren't are pre-law materials, and the reason for that is so you can actually see the legal material in its raw form as I'm learning it as well. The third thing is that the information contained in these episodes are specifically only for educational purposes. They're not to be used as legal advice, and with that, the fourth thing is if it is used as legal advice, we are not liable. That is, Law Schoolers is not liable for any legal outcomes. Thank you again for enjoying the show. Have a good one.